Clint Bowyer, driver of the number 14 Rush Ford. Clint is always in a hurry. So we will take questions for Clint. If you have one, please raise your hand, and we'll state your name and affiliation, and who wants to kick us off. Dustin, thank you very much.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. You talked about a few weeks back when you guys were struggling, not being able to put together a complete race and just kind of having those mistakes. I know you had the issue at Bristol. Was Darlington a step forward, do you feel like, in doing that, or where you guys feel like you're progressing at this point?
I think Darlington was a snapshot of our capabilities. Yeah, I think that's, I've said it time and time again, when we raced our capabilities, we're a single-digit car. A lot of things go into play on that. I feel like we've raced inside the single digits several times this year, and more often than not, struggled to get the finish and manage track position and things like that. It's a new game, man. We're all learning it, and obviously there's a certain group of teams that are have a little bit more speed than some do so far, but that certainly helps manage all those situations, right? But the facts are, we're up against a situation where we can make the playoffs and compete within. If we can compete to our capabilities, I feel like we can go rounds in the playoffs. That's we unloaded, a fast, hot ride here, but it's a new beast. This is a whole new deal, going around here and not lifting in the corners and things like that. You're asking so many different things out of a race car than you did in years prior. It's just what those cars go through and how we've learned over time with lifting and letting the locker unlock and letting the car roll, easy in, hard off, make that straightaway as long as possible. That's all out the window. It's literally, crate racing where you have to keep momentum. These Xfinity cars on the racetrack right now, that's been a snapshot of what we're racing here for the last few years, and I think it's definitely a challenge for everybody that has been in the sport a long time, whether it's a driver or a crew chief or an engineer. It's definitely different. An aero team, when you're trying to work on yaw moments and change the yaw changing in the middle of the corner and how the car goes through that yaw moment is a drastic difference what we're asking out of the car now versus what we used to.
Right, go ahead.
Bruce Martin with NBCSports.com. Because you've had to relearn so much at Indianapolis, how important are these practices and the qualifications, which you were denied last year because of the weather?
Yeah, I think sometimes with me, myself, and I don't know if it's because of me or I experienced some of it, less track time usually is a good thing, for an organization like Stewart-Haas with such great people and great tools, and a lot of experience on all facets of that. That's a good thing, but Pocono is always a good, testing ground, proving ground for what you'll see at Indy. We were pretty decent there on speed-wise and things like that, but you're talking the same tire and same situations, speed and everything else, qualifying. I feel like I'm fairly confident we'll be fine there. It's the things you can't control, that untimely caution and something like that. That's the difference in being in the situation we're in. They could bite you, that's the reality of it, but you go out there and control the things you can control, make the car as fast as possible, try to qualify up front, keep it in track position, stay in front of those guys, and that's the only thing you can control, really. Anything else above and beyond that, if it's a unlucky situation, untimely caution, something like that, so be it.
All right, go ahead.
Tyler Burnett, MRN. Looking ahead to next week at Vegas, in March was the last time we went there, and that was fairly early on with this rules package. What have you guys learned that will make that race look different next week?
Every time there's a rule change, everything's all over the place. The teams are either hitting on it or missing on it, especially early in the year like Vegas was this spring. That's pretty much the team's first shot at a mile-and-a-half track and first stab at a, not only a team but an organization. Those, again, we've talked about it before, that point in the year, you've made the bed. You're lying in the bed you made, and this time around, it seems like always when there's a rule change by halfway through the season, usually by Charlotte, that gap is closed and the window is closed in, and everybody's kind of, honed in on where they want to be. So that'll be the case next week. No different than here.
All right, go ahead.
Dustin Albino, French Judge. With the pressure this weekend, what did you do during the week to keep your mind away from racing?
Man, I went to the shop. It was a short week for everybody. I think everybody was pretty much junk on Labor Day. My Labor Day was less than eventful. I went down to the pool and kind of had some plans. I cracked open a beer and I sat there and looked at it for about an hour, and I was like, that's different. I'll be damned, about 5 o'clock, I think I was staring at the back of my eyelids laying on the couch, and she took the kids out for a walk and came back in. She's like, you up? Like, yeah, I'm good. What do you want to do for dinner? And so my Labor Day was probably no different than anybody else's. Tuesday went to the shop like always, and Wednesday we got some things done around the house, built a couple food plots for the deer and get that going, and that's your off day. Wednesdays are kind of your Saturday these days, and then Wednesday night took Cash to the motocross track, had a lot of fun there, watching that little turd go around there. It's pretty funny. It's funny how they even learn lingo in the motocross. But man, I was ripping it, bro. He told me, I'm like, what the hell did you just say? Where did you learn that? But he learned it. And, just came here and got ready to have a great weekend. It's a lot of fun to be able to come here. Stressful weekend. There's a lot of implications, and it's an important thing to be a part of the playoffs. It's important to me. It's important to my race team, Mike, and everybody else on the 14 team. It's important to our organization with Stewart Haas Racing, and certainly our manufacturer with Ford. So it's fun. It's fun to feel this way. You don't have this opportunity to feel this way under this pressure and have that bearing on yourself every weekend. You don't. But it's kind of fun to test yourself and rise to the occasion and try to have some fun within this as well.
Did you find a home for the kittens?
Yes, thank God. There was somebody that showed up and took the kittens because my old man saved the kittens and then left, as kind of luck would have it. So, yep, the kittens have a safe and good home, and Cash was very worried about that when he woke up and found the kittens were no longer there. But all is well in the kitten world, thank God.
All right, we're going to take our final question up front. Go ahead.
Coming into the Brickyard this weekend, what would it mean for you and your team to maybe get that win? How much confidence would that give your team heading into the playoffs?
I don't think a Brickyard win is anything about confidence or anything else. It's about a Brickyard. It's about an Indianapolis win. I mean, hell, I don't even feel welcome here half the time if you find one of them yellow shirts or whatever, but I don't give a damn. We're here, and I would love to win here. I think it would mean the world, to myself, my career, my family, our race team, or, call it legacy, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's a big deal to win at Indy. It's something that, everybody, that races wishes they had an opportunity to even compete at Indy and be on these, hollow grounds. But to be able to roll into, a victory lane would be ultra special for anybody in this sport, and certainly I'm no exception.
All right. Thank you, Clint. We wish you the best of luck this weekend.